And we're live.
Tonight, the party faces the greatest foe a tabletop role-playing group can face: scheduling conflicts. So we're missing 2 players tonight. It's okay, though. I still have my favorites. Last time we left our players, they were cleaning the temple. And now we'll start. Okay. You 4 find yourselves at a pair of double doors. They are carved wooden doors, and they depict a beautiful woman on one side and an owlin on the other. To your characters, you see an owl furry on one side and a beautiful woman on the other. The beautiful woman does depict the goddess that you met. Upon opening the twin doors, they open outward, and inside you can find a grand library. It is floor to ceiling, rows and rows and rows of books. It encompasses the entire room, and upon stepping in, you cannot quite see the ends of either side. Straight in front of you is rows of tables, and they have spots on the tables where you can see dollops of wax where people have lit candles while they were perhaps studying in the hall. And you promptly lose 2 of your companions into the stacks of books. What would you like to do?
I would like to continue scouting the temple, looking for something that's more my speed.
And you?
I mean, as tempting as it is to probably spend my time, see if I can find anything worth reading, I'll probably go with the giant dragon man and see what else we can find.
Okay. So you continue down the hall?
Yeah.
Do you assume now that they're just going to clean the library?
Yeah.
You got it covered? Perfectly.
And after it's clean, maybe I'll come and look at some books about some of the local flora, fauna, and wildlife.
I mean, we've already established the slime at least farts dust, so should be totally fine.
Perfect. So I'm assuming you continue down the hall?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Meanwhile, randomly, you'll hear randomly, I'm just coughing, almost like something got caught in my throat, and so it's me trying to be walking behind you, and you'll hear the occasional.
What's the matter? Cat got your tongue?
Me? Maybe? I don't know. Something's weird ever since. I don't know, but something seems odd. Anyway.
It's a furball.
The little bit I got? Sure.
Your body looks older than you do. Or did.
Either way works, so.
We don't know what it was licking before you inhabited it.
Or if it was at all. But still.
Coin vibrates in both of your pockets. Those are new bodies. You aren't possessing anybody. I just want to clarify, you aren't possessing someone else. I would be doing a better job if you were possessing someone.
Got it.
Made completely from your subconsciousnesses are your bodies. Yes.
I now have deeper questions about your mind.
I mean, I could easily say the same for you, buddy.
Dragons are cool, no matter what reality.
You got me there.
Continuing down the hall, you notice that you haven't passed any more doors to your right. So as you're going down this hall, to your right, it has been just wall until you found these two grand doors, and it's continuing as being wall. And on the left-hand side, or claw, it is every so often a window. Dusty, filthy windows.
So what you're saying is, we're not just walking into Mordor.
Nope. Less door, really. And, however, like Mordor, you do feel as if someone is watching you this entire time.
Well, based on the fact that we seem to have the pager of the goddess with us, I kind of expected it.
I mean, pretty much.
Sure, you want to use pager as your choice of wording?
Well, it's a small metal Alexa.
Sure.
Could be that, Siri, Bixby. If anyone uses that. So.
I actually do. And it works quite well. But I guess we continue on. What looks to be out the windows?
More courtyard. Well, not courtyard, but it seems to be overgrown yard space.
Okay.
Mostly you see roses. Roses and then very, very tall grass. As if anything could appear in that tall grass, such as a scheduling conflict.
Well, we can't help but wonder what this place looks like in its prime.
I have a feeling the intention is we'll find out.
Well,
You both have been walking for quite a bit, and you're still not finding any other doors. It's still a stretch of hallway.
you think it would hurt for like one of those? At this point, I think I'd almost kill for one of those sidewalk, the moving sidewalks, or a scooter or something.
I'm curious.
Echo, 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 echo.
I think we've got a ways to go.
Yay.
Eventually,
Oh, come on.
you do come up to the end of the hallway, which you have not found another door on the right side this entire time. But there is a door at the very end of the hallway.
Are the hinges on this side?
No.
Okay, so does it look to have a latch, or does it look like it just pushes open?
It has a doorknob.
That would be a latch, yes. So I'll reach over and try to gently turn the knob and push it open because I know I'm not in my normal form, so I don't want to break shit.
It is in this room, there is just groups of desks and more blobs of wax on the desks. It appears that there are windows in front of it, but it is hard, along the back wall. But it is so dusty, the windows are, that it's hard to tell if they're just not gray paintings that look like windows.
Well,
Shiny gray paintings. You can see outside now.
well, we might as well clean here. And eventually our Roomba will eventually catch up and we can have it mess with the rest of this spot.
I think it would be wise to get a lay of our environment before we actually actively clean.
And how do you suggest we do that?
Continue exploring the temple.
I would say my dogs are hurting at this point, but
You seem like more of a cat person.
yeah.
But what would you clean with?
Well, what I've got on me, I mean, I can make do with this robe and just clean it later.
With what?
All right, I see your logic here.
We may actually find something that we can use as cleaning supplies. Running water would be a good start.
True. And maybe if all else fails, we'll just, we do a scorch earth campaign and just use your breath and vaporize all the dust.
I feel like that would be a bad idea.
It would. Please don't burn down my temple. It's already been burned down once.
Once. Okay then. Noted.
I mean, religion wasn't terribly dissimilar from where we came from.
Yeah. Crusades, random bickering. My book's better than your book. My teacher's better than yours.
My god can beat up your god.
Yeah, very much.
So you are about facing and walking back towards the courtyard.
Yeah, as well.
Both of you roll perception.
19.
That is a 16.
Okay.
Oh wait, I forgot to add the. That's I go 22.
22?
Yeah.
Okay. As we're walking back, you notice that along one of the you're heading back. The left side's now your right side. On the right side where the windows are, you notice that on near the very far room, you actually see that there is some of the stone sticking out slightly. When you're coming back out, so it catches your eye. Several stones, like it's not just like one stone is sticking out, it's like some of it is slightly off. You wouldn't notice it going in, but going out, you notice that there's just a slight change in the stones.
Did you have any booby traps set up in your temple?
I mean, it's been a while since anybody's been there. There shouldn't be any booby traps.
And of course, you see.
Well, I'm just. You and
I mean, secret passages, definitely. Booby traps, no. No. I don't believe the last priests and priestesses put any booby traps in. Secret patches, so yeah.
Okay. Before we completely leave here, and I'm gonna kind of make my way over and kind of like feel the stone and kind of like press on any of it and see if I notice any kind of like movements.
Pressing, it does move, but like running your hand along it, you can feel the shape of a door.
18 investigation.
Okay, now it's pointed it out.
Yeah.
You find a door, and when you push on it, it does push in, but it goes only to where it's flush with the stone.
Is there a spot to grab to try and pull out? Or some kind of wall sconce that I can fiddle with to see if it's a lever?
There are no wall sconces.
I mean, I'll roll investigation if you need, but it's like I'm gonna like look at the floors or even like the tables and see if I see anything that would look like, like something that looks like that could have been moved or. But I'll go with the floor first and see if I see any like thing on it. Maybe there's like a weird stone or something.
It's very dusty, but you do see scratches in the stone where they've covered it with the carpet, but not like right against the wall, where you can see the trajectory, and it looks like it opens outward instead of inward.
Okay.
And because both of you are paying attention to where it is, you can still kind of see the seam. Okay. Strength.
Nat 1.
He's happy.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna try with these. Do you see this? Like, I'm pretty sure if I put any force, this
You'll
hand,
break a nail. I know.
I was going to suggest the whole hand, but I suppose that works too. Jeez.
So, how does this open?
Secret. Secret. Door. I can't tell you.
Well, I guess we're gonna kind of look around here some more and see if we can.
Investigating the whole of the room now.
Pretty much.
Hallway.
Okay. Follow the hallway then.
Hallway.
It should be something relatively near the door that would open it.
I was gonna join the investigation. I got a 10.
19.
I'll give you a sign. You have a niggling while you're investigating. And since you're in a magic world, supposedly, maybe there's magic here, probably. She mentioned magic,
And breathing fire felt pretty magical.
but maybe it takes magic to open. And the last person just left it slightly ajar.
You got any magic spells?
You could both roll Arcana.
I mean, I'll give it I mean, sure.
17.
12.
Okay. Things that you shouldn't really know about, but you do know because of your extracurricular activities in playing video games, reading copious amounts of anime, manga, reading copious amounts of manga, and watching lots and lots of anime.
So which one of us is a shield hero?
I'm just thinking.
You see in one of the grooves of stone what looks like magic writing, like, you know, like circle within circle within circle with star, little bits of writing. I mean, it's really tiny, but because you're looking for it, now you're thinking it is magic. You see that point, you see another point, you see another point, and hopefully next to it there's a 1, 2, 3, because other people forgot which sequence they were supposed to press the buttons in.
I will start pressing
So
in the sequence.
1, 2, 3. Nothing happens.
You try it. You have smaller fingers.
I mean, okay. I'll give it a shot. I'll match the sequence as well there.
Nothing happens. You may roll intelligence if you'd like to get a hint.
Oh, there we go. As I just
23.
18.
Both of you go, what if the 1, 2, 3 is not just the sequence? What if it's how many times I push it?
Okay.
We both kind of just look at me like,
One.
wait.
2, 3.
Swink. That's
15.
Okay.
Oh, no, 17. Sorry.
16.
both of you move out of the way, the door swings open. You're like, if you wouldn't have made it, you would have been hit by the door and thrown down the hallway. Congratulations, you didn't earn a new face. Inside this secret passageway is a lot of cobwebs, a lot of dust, and janitorial supplies.
I told you we'd find something.
There's a
Yeah.
broom, there's a hammer, there's a bucket, appears to be a mop.
You say half of this stuff, I'd say, has probably not been used in decades, maybe centuries.
What kind of condition does all the stuff look in?
Very filthy. Like, you're gonna touch the broom, but it's gonna leave dust on your hands.
Well, filthy is only part of the condition I was trying to assess.
It doesn't look like it'll fall apart if you touch it, if that's what you're asking.
Does it look like it would survive being used?
Yes,
Okay.
there are several rooms. You can tell that they probably have more than one janitor.
No, we could each take a broom.
Yeah.
Anything that looks like it would provide flowing water? Does this temple have indoor plumbing?
No.
And cut off.
Okay. We'll grab a broom, a bucket, a mop, and a hammer.
And you will roll for initiative.
Woo!
That is 10.
9. I don't want to get my butt kicked by a broom.
So help me if there's a rodent running around here in a particular rouge robe and a azure hat.
You said 10?
No, he said 10. I said 9.
Can you go through my favorite names?
Xander.
Human or new name?
The name that you choose.
Kadiri.
You may not be centered in the camera.
You said what?
Kadiri.
Sorry, someone sent a message.
Okie dokie. Because you both weren't expecting a broom to move, you were caught unaware.
All right.
As you reach for a broom it feels like it's falling forward at you. Instead, it slightly lifts up and your aggression got a 22 hits. Smack you dead center in the face. Booked on the nose the wrong way. I like it. And you take 2 damage to the face.
the broom. On my turn.
And smack, and at first you think that it's just falling forward. And then pops back up and swings at you again. Does a 15 hit?
No.
This time, you're starting to learn to dodge. When you see it pull back, you ready, and it goes to hit you again, and you move out of the way. Kendire, it is your turn.
Great. So, is it just one broom that's attacking us, or is
One
it?
broom.
It's one broom. Okay. Oh. Let's see. Oh, let me still do that. I'm going to try. I don't know if that's going to do any good to cast. I mean, I guess in my case here, I'm going to try to attempt to like grab it.
Okay. Do a grapple check, which is going to be strength and athletics. So strength, which is athletics. Athletics, which is strength. There we go.
Gotcha.
So if you don't have athletics, you will strength.
Just a straight 12.
Well, you beat it. So you're now holding on to a broom that is struggling in your grasp.
Hold still, and I'm gonna try to like, just keep it in place for a second and be like, any ideas?
It's a broom, but a mean one.
It's so small.
Where would the nose on a broom be?
I'll
flick it at the tip of its handle.
Roll a hit.
Yep. $20.
Hit. Unarmored is what? A D4?
Well, since I technically have claws.
Not unarmored, but unmanned, unweaponed.
Yeah, and since I do technically have claws, I'm going to pull my hit to just a flick and do a minimum of 1 point.
Okay. It takes 1 point of damage. Okay. It is now the broom's turn. 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
I need you to roll strength because it's going to try to release itself from the grapple.
Gotcha.
That's not the look of success.
No.
That almost looked like the look of 1. Was it a 1?
It's a 1.
Oh,
It's a 1.
did an 18 hit?
Yes.
Well, your snoot gets booped as well. And you take... Well, I guess you were closer. You take 4 points of damage. You won't get snooted. Boop, snoot, smash.
Ow.
It struggles, releases from your grasp, smacks you really hard in the face, and like backs up. Wiggles menacingly at both of you. As if it was, whole room.
If you don't break it, I will.
Well, it is your turn.
And I'm gonna, let's see, because at this point, Kadarian would not have tried out any spells yet, so he has no idea what he's gonna be doing. I mean, I guess I could attempt to try to cast some sort of spell and see what happens.
What spell are you interested in doing? Because it could be that if the feeling wells up in front upon you and you cast. So what spell are you wishing to cast?
Would be the right now. Kadarian at this point is just mad. He's just thinking about like just something to make the thing hold still.
Okay.
So maybe like an entangle.
Do you have entangle?
I do.
You do?
Yes.
Okay, so you're thinking really, really hard about that. So go ahead and is entangle a roll to hit or is it a dex save?
It is a save. It's a strength save.
Well, since it is the first time of you casting this spell, I am going to require you to roll a d20.
Okay. Let's see. That's an 8.
Okay. So you feel really angry, you feel like you really want to hold it, and you kind of imagine ropes. It doesn't quite feel right. And you're still very angry.
There was something there for a minute, but and that's it for me at this moment. It's just more like it was angry that I just got swatted super hard.
I was going to try and grapple it, but rolled an athletics of 6.
A little room. It dodges. The leaves. Okay. That's your one turn, yeah?
Yeah.
It's feeling, as much as an animated room can feel, smug. So it goes to attack you because you attacked it last. And it swings big, and I highly doubt a 10 hits.
No.
It doesn't even get close, really, right?
Right.
Just
Wait.
pulls back, it shudders.
This is a very expressive broom.
Very much so.
Does a 16 hit you?
Yes.
It shudders, and it wildly goes to attack you. And you take 1 point of damage.
Got it.
How are you feeling?
I'm at, like, literally half the health has been drained out of my body right now.
So not good.
No, not good in the slightest.
It is now your turn. How are you feeling? You said you're not feeling good.
Not feeling good. Now I'm just like, I'm gonna do whatever I can to get you to just hold still.
Okay.
So,
Go ahead.
try again. 13.
You can feel it rush over you. And it tangles out of your palms. How do you want it to be like plant matter? Dark tendrils? How does entangle look to you?
How it looks to him like the first time he just does it, it's just this rage. At first, it kind of looks very dark, but you can see what it does look like it is vines.
Okay. So deep, dark. Are they green or are they a different color?
They're definitely kind of almost like a brown. You'd almost, they're not a healthy looking.
All right. They erupt from your palms this time, and they tangle around the broom. And it's like they leave your palms and they press into the ground of the janitorial closet, holding the broom in place. But you can now move your hands because it's no longer attached. And the broom struggles in its new bounds. What do you do?
I'm gonna try and get a hold of it again.
It's grappled right now.
Which should make it easier for me to get a hold of it.
Okay.
So do I roll with advantage or normal?
With advantage.
Woo. 17.
17? Okay. So now there are sickly brown vines holding it in place, and now you've got a hand on it.
Good.
Okay. What do you wish to do? Pretty much grappling is your turn, huh?
But I have an idea for next turn.
The broom rolled a 1. So it does not get out of its bounds. If anything, you can start seeing splits in the broom handle. As it's struggling, it's breaking itself upon its bindings. No splinters hit your fingies, though.
Yay!
Okay, JT, it's your turn.
If you plan to use this thing, do it. Otherwise, I just want to break it.
I'm gonna treat it like Hulk did Loki.
All right then. And let's see. So he's got a hold of it. It's entangled. Trying to think of what would be a good alternative thing to do with this at that point, because it's like I don't want to get it out of your hand and result in anything bad happening to either of us again. I'm gonna just take a quick step back and just be like, I'll let you break it however you want, and I'm just gonna just kind of try to collect myself because of the fact that I'm not feeling so hot. So, pretty much that's all I'm going to do for my turn is just kind of take a step back.
Okay. You're holding it. It is entangled. The entanglement is holding it to the ground.
Okay, well, there's a corner of the wall that I'll just try to take it across.
Do you release the bindings enough off the ground into just... Because right now it's stationary on the ground. So if you're pulling, he's gonna have to release.
Or I just overpower the entangle.
Okay then. Roll strength.
Well then. 23.
Should I have done our rollsies against him? Okay. Wasn't.
No, you're good. Deciding.
Yeah, that's a 14. So,
Okay.
if anything, I'm just gonna be you could. I don't assume I can do anything.
The vines off of it when you rip it up.
Sure.
Now it's up in your hands.
And I slam it against the wall.
Is the strength check your turn?
I guess it would be.
Am I evil?
Sometimes. It's the red hair.
It is the red hair, yes. From struggles in your grasp, It does not make it. You will return again.
I'll hold my turn, yeah, in case it tries to come at me again. I'll do something.
Okay. You're holding the broom. One broom. Now I guess you roll to hit stone.
14 to hit the wall.
Hit.
Would it be legend, technically?
I'm going to do a minimum of 4 strength damage. And bludgeon the broom with the wall's corner.
Roll a d8.
1.
Plus your.
Strength, which is 4.
Mm-hmm.
So 5.
Okay. Broom is still struggling. Ooh. Roll strength.
23.
Well then, it rolled a 19. You rolled a 20. So, it's struggling viciously. It really wants to let go. And you're just like, it's your turn. You're watching him fight with a broom. And right now, it really more looks like he's holding a broom and like,
Dusting something invisible.
I mean, if it's doing this, you might as well use it to clean that, or you want me to try maybe holding it again?
Oh no. We will end this.
okay,
Well,
what are we doing?
Nat 20.
Okay, what do you want to do?
I'm going to try and bust it against the wall again.
Bust it against the wall. Okay. So, since it's a 20 to hit, you will also be doing, so you'll be doing 2d8 damage.
Total of 11 damage.
Hit it against the wall, and it goes, snaps down. And you no longer, it's the weirdest thing. Because it had been struggling so much, it feels weird that it's no longer moving in her hands. That it's just
Gone lax.
a inanimate object in your hands.
We have defeated a difficult enemy this day.
yeah. Sure. I'm not feeling so great.
I can't really tell.
Well, I feel like if anything.
Yeah, you probably feel like someone's punched you in the face several times because you got hit with a broom in the face several times.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, since you seem to be more stocked up, how about you double check if any of our other friends are gonna try anything.
So, I try to grab a broom, a mop, and a bucket, as well as the hammer.
Nothing else moves.
Now we just need to find water. Maybe soap.
Maybe bandages too.
You don't appear to be bleeding, but, I mean, you are partial skeletal to start with.
Yeah. It hurts.
Will the skin grow back?
I don't know at this point.
Okay. So where are we moving?
I think the next step is to try and find, like I said, water.
So you're gonna leave the janitorial closet in search of water. Are you both carrying a broom and supplies? There are also rags there, but they're like crust rags. You know, like when you pick them up, it's no longer fabricy. It's just kind of.
I'll throw one of the rags into the bucket.
For me, I'll grab a broom and one of the other rags. I'll just toss it on my tail, just so my tail kind of now looks like a little skeletal rack almost, just holding the rag. And maybe as a trophy, I'll take the broom handle that you had broke and just carry it as like a little victory.
And then I guess the next thing is to try to find a place where we can wash the supplies so we can use the supplies.
Okay.
So
Do
on the
you-
lake.
Close the janitor door.
No.
You leave it open.
No, I'm leaving it open just in case. Yeah.
La, 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 la. You do not come across any more of these magic doors during your walk back to the courtyard. Now your options are north, south, or west wing.
Which direction looks like it would be towards the courtyard? Because maybe there's a.
You were in the courtyard. You would have walked all the way down past the door of the library, kept going, and gotten back to the courtyard.
Are there any fountains or anything with flowing water?
Or do we hear anything?
Investigation. If you're looking for sound, it is perception.
Okay. I did not. Oh wow.
23.
Okay.
And that's for perception. I'm listening for moving water.
I got a 14. I think I'm still kind of like just hobbling a second.
Neither of you hear anything that sounds like water.
Do we see anything that would have potentially looked like a fountain at some point?
From this vantage point, you see yes. You see the rose garden on one side. You see another garden area on the other side. Straight ahead of you is the big giant tree. On the other side of the tree, you can kind of see the entrance to the west wing. And then to your left, you see the south wing. And to the north, or to your right, you see the north wing. But for the most part, it's just a garden space.
Okay.
You would have to go through the massive tangly flowers to be able to see if you can find a fountain.
I say let's go to the flowers, because clearly they got something going on over there. So I'll make the suggestion, and then I may just kind of start walking over to it. Probably after that, what I'll do is I'll use the broken broom handle and like try to see if I can kind of like part.
So they're flower gardens. So do you want to go to the one that has the majority roses in it, or do you want to go to the one that looks a lot more like wildflowers?
We'll go with the let's go with the wildflowers.
Okay. You find that it's not as easy as just going over into this yard. There seems to be some thick bushes in the way. And as you follow along the bushes, you do eventually find an archway that points towards the tree that leads into a garden. You can see where there was a cobblestone path, but it's very overgrown. So you just see more like bits of stone here and there. And traipsing through it with your broom, handle in hand to push things away. The path splits into a Y. So if there's a fork in the road, do you want to go to the right or to the left?
Before I make my choice, I'll roll investigation again, or perception, and I'm gonna just try to see if I can hear anything. Because like maybe there's like some sort of open water or something that they're getting me. So basically, I'm just gonna like, kind of close my eyes and just see if I hear anything.
Okay.
Birds. Oh, okay. 15.
You hear breeze, rush of wind through the large tree behind you and through the bushes. Soft movement of the flowers. And you can hear your companion behind you breathing. Did you follow him into the flower garden?
Yeah, why not?
Sticking in pairs at least.
Oh, we don't know what, if anything, could ambush us. I mean, we got attacked by a broom.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe the flowers could entangle you. Let's now you know that exists.
I'm just gonna kind of like take a deep breath and go, as calming as that was, what do you suggest? As I kind of look back.
I think we'll need to look outside the building for water at this point.
Technically, the courtyard is outside of a building.
But it's an outside of the building.
Inside
within
the building. Yep.
So I'm talking about outside the building.
Okay.
Does the tree extend over the roof?
No.
Okay.
Do you not remember last week? Tree and scepter go over, but it's not like the tree like encompassed the entire courtyard. But you went on top of the roof last time. The tree did not touch the roof.
Was there any water in any direction that I could see at that time?
From what I remember, no. It was just a lot of fields. Like essentially, it's almost like we're almost like in the middle of like granted a nice plain, but middle of nowhere. Plain old nowhere, you could almost say.
Well, they would need a source of water, so maybe there's a well. But the well could be to where the visual field wouldn't have caught it. So pulls out the coin. Sorry to bother. Is there a well nearby your temple?
Well. I don't know where people put things, actually. There's secret passages, yes. The giant library, yes. Pretty sure most people just used the magic. I don't know if there was an actual place people pulled up water here. There's the ability to create water in this world, but you don't really need to dig a well. That's kind of really barbaric, actually, digging into the earth for water. Oh yeah, your world did that. Oops.
So basically, we have to conjure.
How do we get magic to do this?
Because so far, all I can do is vines.
You believe in yourself really hard. Years of study, or oops, I was really thirsty and I created water.
Basically, at this point, Kateri basically just sits like right in the middle of the fork road and just kind of just closes his eyes and just kind of starts meditating and just being like holding out like the fur hand, just basically hold it out like this and just seeing if he can just like do any kind of like conjuring up any kind of like water or anything, and just
Any luck?
I'm just focusing.
Do you get level 1 spells right now?
He does, I know.
Yeah, I guess I do, yes.
Okay. Should you think about it really hard? Go ahead and roll me a d20.
Okay. 11.
In, breathe out. Water, 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 water. Is that about it?
At first he would have been doing something like water, but then he would have been like, like trying to think of other stuff like streams, rivers, like trying to do stuff like that to be like, see if he can like invoke
The need to pee.
Yeah,
Exactly.
pretty much.
Thinking about it. Really, the idea of conjuring water is kind of hard. But you are now thirstier, and you kind of have to be.
This isn't good. I don't know. We've barely cleaned like probably not even a part of this place, and I already need to use the bathroom.
Were you also thinking about water during this?
No, I was observing him.
Meditating on water.
This sucks. I now have to use. Now I have to pee.
Would you like the bucket? Or are you going to water the flowers?
I don't know if the gods is going to approve of this.
Further question, since your anatomical attributes are the way they are, would you cause the decay of the flowers?
Are you asking him if he has pestilence fee?
Yes.
I don't know, man. I mean,
Drink the green snow.
not even 5 minutes ago, I just established vines can come out of my hands. Now you're questioning if I could kill stuff with urine? I don't know. I don't know this body yet.
And thus my concern.
I need to find somewhere soon, otherwise I'm going to burst.
You could try to clear the pathway with it. I'll turn away.
No, I'm gonna try something else. And just like, I'm gonna try to like get up and just try to like, at this point, kind of like, I'm not in like a hurried or frenzied state, but I'm kind of like alert, more looking around, being like, there's got to be somewhere that looks like obvious, like some sort of like water closet or just something along that nature.
Well, apparently pulling water from other locations is barbaric.
Yes, but surely not relieving yourself is barbaric.
You don't know this. I've read Harry Potter. There's a lot of fan theories with how wizards deal with that.
I'm gonna pull out my coin. Guys, please tell me that this place has somewhere where we can relieve ourselves
In prayer?
bodily.
Yes, we have toilets. Toilets are the words you use. Yes, toilets.
Where would they be?
In the living quarters, which is the west wing. You guys just came from the east wing, so go to the west wing. There should be facilities, as you proper folks talk about.
I'm going to like get up and like just kind of at like a hurried pace, try to just go.
Is it one of those need to pee waddles? Or is it a full on stride?
Right now, it's one of those. It's just a hurried pace. It's not quite danger level, but it's enough that you know it's like okay, like he's
So you're not at the risk of shaking something loose yet. Got it.
not yet, but it's definitely a like. He had better go very soon, otherwise it's not going to be well.
I'll follow along.
With your bucket and your mop.
Mm.
And your broom.
If there's a restroom, maybe there's some kind of supply. Oh, we don't know what they use for restrooms here.
Yep.
If it's a cesspit or if it's a...
So, homie, if it's seashells, I'm out. I'm not doing this. Just hearing the cat just curse, just profanity, just like what? No one knows the shells.
As soon as you get to and into the west wing, it is dark-ish. It is low light because appears to be several broken windows.
Vandals. Or just nature running its course. Could be either one.
Yeah, there's an occasional window on the roof that's broken in, and so there's streams of sunlight coming down into the hallway. This hallway is again that dark toned carpet running all the way down. And grayish toned walls. If you run a finger through the wall, you realize it's dusty and it does appear to be whitish stone. So you're going down the hall, and there are doors on both sides. Some of them are closer together, some of them are farther apart. But there are more doors down this way. The last one, it was windows, wall, door, wall. This is not that. This is, looks like a hallway with actual rooms.
I'll start opening doors.
At this point, even he's just like grabbing and just like pushing and just looking. Because at this point, it's slowly coming more and more. Like you can see it.
So the first door that you find is to like a little seating room. There are dust-covered furniture. There is a fireplace. There is a bay window.
Cool. Looks nice. Not what I need.
Another door you open. Are you opening doors on the right side or the left side? Because there are both.
I'm going down probably this one, I'm going down the left side.
I'll go down the other side. Open the doors too.
Sitting room, sitting room, sitting room.
So many sitting rooms, but not one shitting room.
Dining hall. where you can see a long table with several benches.
Occasionally, when we're looking, occasionally you see like my ears at this point are like kind of doing that, like that, almost like that twitching reaction.
And now it's gone from a hurried walk to the pee waddle.
And then you come upon the so sitting rooms, eatery, a couple bedrooms, and then you said you're on the left side.
Yeah.
You open to a very dark place. But it's moist in here.
Oh my.
Cutter does have dark vision. Is he going to be able to actually pierce into any of that? Or
So
see
the dark vision, you see a room with several cubbies that have swing doors on them, so little cubbies with swing doors, and you see what looks like a sink. So you have found.
and you're going to just hear just this hallelujah and just and I just
However, see a dark place that feels wet. Not wet, but moist, like humid. But you just hurry into one of the stalls. Okay.
at this point,
Like as soon as he gets into
First.
as soon as he gets into the little space that you can see, you just see him disappear into the dark, and then there's silence.
Yeah, because I don't have dark vision.
But you also don't hear anything. Do you ask? Do you go, oh, or anything?
Are you okay?
You can hear him. Do you respond?
at this point, like at this point, it's like that relaxing, just. Yes, I hear you.
Nothing. You hear nothing. You respond. You say something to it. Seemingly empty room. Not you, but you don't know that he can't hear you.
Right, at this point, like I'm just my brain is shut off. I am relieving myself. Prior to this point, I'm almost done. I'm just like,
I didn't hear a splash, so I don't imagine you fell in.
I didn't, but also I don't think I'm acidic, so that's good.
These toilets, however, they're just holes. It goes down to this. You are the captain.
I don't hear the sound of water on water.
At this point, like I'll step out and
Of the cubby.
I'll step out of the cubby. And
Did you go in? No, you're standing on the outside.
I also don't have a torture or any spells that generate
It's
light.
terrifying. It's just an abyss in there.
I'll just look at the sink and kind of like, at this point, now that I've like kind of relieved myself, try to get like a better look at this place. Just kind of like scoping out like how run down is this bathroom that I just relieved myself in.
It's not really in disrepair. Roll investigation. Actually, no, perception.
Yep, I'm gonna read that. Wait, you said perception?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It was. See, sorry, I always forget this part of it. So when it comes to your your perception, it can't be lower than your passive. Is that right?
Unless I tell you that it can.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah, what's your passive?
My passive is 16.
Okay. There are some cracks in the stone, but for the most part, it is in good repair. However, something does catch your eye. There's like basins along the wall, like you would expect to wash your hands, but there is no faucet per se. But you do see more of those little magical little lips that you saw earlier that he had pointed out on the thing. But there is just, when you're at the basin, there is magical writing on the wall. If you approach the basin.
I'll at least take a step up to it, yeah, and
Okay. Roll Arcana as you try to interpret what the symbols mean. Am I boring you?
No.
that's a 19.
Knowledge floods into your brain. And you find yourself moving on your own as you press your hands out, not touching the wall, but in front of the magic script. And from a slit in the basin, a waterfall of water comes out. And you notice that you can wash your hands here.
It's still eerily quiet.
While I'm washing my hands, give me a sec. At this
Did you
point,
get stuck because I can't hear you and you're not talking back to me? And
Maybe he's dead. Maybe he got eaten.
I already thought he was half dead. So.
like, at this point, can I see the doorway out?
Yes, you can see him. Well, in the dark you can. You just see abyss.
I'm standing right here. Nothing?
Are you feeling a little anxious right now?
I'm deliberating on lighting one of the brooms into a torch. Like,
Are you like moving in any way, or are you just staring blankly into the dark?
I'm starting to look around to find something that I can use to set on fire to generate light.
You see him searching.
At this point, I'll kind of like start walking forward.
You know where like you get a little bit of light and the low light, and then there's just the abyss of darkness. So there's that little piece. He just suddenly steps out of the dark.
Oh, shit!
Yeah. Skull face.
I mean, now I don't have to. I was just peed.
I'm glad I wore my brown pants.
I mean, it works in there. There's even sinks.
But I couldn't hear a thing.
I have no idea what you're talking about, man. I could hear you very expressively concerned. Did you not hear that I said that my pee was not acidic?
Let's test a theory. You stand over here.
Okay.
I'll enter the room and look for a light switch.
There isn't.
Alright. I'm gonna walk in some to where I would be out of the field of vision from my understanding and try to talk at him.
You hear nothing. But from where you can see him into the room.
Right.
And you see him open and close his little mouth. And there's no sound.
I'm sorry. My mouth would not be like a possum. It doesn't.
I mean, if we're going like the whole like Chibi puppets thing, there's always that whole like just.
Dragon, not possum.
Then you open like D's? Or do you open like D's?
Lower jaw.
Huh. And then I'll kind of.
Okay, so to take this up a notch, I'm going to start singing.
Okay, roll performance.
That's what I'm doing. Oh, that's not a good performance.
What did you roll?
11. It's not a bad one.
They're not terrible. It's, you know.
So I will start singing, and then I will.
What do you see?
Because it's not in.
No. I don't know what that face doesn't make me concerned.
Oh, got a lovely bunch of coconuts, dee. And I'm just walking forward back out.
You cannot hear them. He's just. And then as soon as you come through the doorway, coconuts.
Dee.
Oh. I couldn't hear a thing until you coconuts did a lady.
It has an anti-sound magic, which might be good.
Yeah. That or just want to keep things private. You don't want anyone to know that you're exploding.
I have known some people to gag at the sound of defecation.
Same here.
Well, then the next thing is I'm still looking around for a way to shed light in the area. Have you found a light switch?
No, but I did find the sink. And it does have water.
Would it be big enough to start cleaning things in?
There were some that were individual basins, and then there were some that were trough basins.
I think so.
The trough basins seem to be in the middle of the room.
There's a few troughs. We can fill it up.
Again, I think we'll need to clean the mops and the brooms before we can use them efficiently.
Oh, of course. But I can see well in there, so I can take the buckets.
Okay, if you think they won't beat you up.
And I'll just start. I'll wander in and
Back into the abyss he goes.
I'm going with this time because I'm bringing in the brooms and some of the other stuff.
Okay. You come into a wall of darkness. So you just try.
now, since we're both in here, are we able to hear each other?
Are there any sconces on the walls too?
You can't ask those questions. You cannot see. No, there's no sconces. We'll have you tested it.
So anyway, are you able to hear me at all?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Well, if you want, just follow the soothing sound of my voice, and we'll head right over to here.
Is there anything that looks like it could emit light?
What do I see currently? Like, do I just...
Walked up to the basins, and you can see again those same magical writing on front, like where if you put your hands out, and then there appears to be it's pretty foggy and old and dusty, but there is a flat surface. Do you rub at it?
Yeah, I'll give it a... Yeah, I'll put one of the buckets down and...
It's a mirror. And then keep looking around. You don't see anything that it looks like it's supposed to produce light, per se. But when you look at the ceiling and squint, you can see the roof and it has more of those skylights. But these ones are very dirty and dusty from the inside.
Oh. Natural lighting.
That's got to be unpleasant at night. Unless you have magic.
Well, you do have that breath of yours.
Different kind of cleansing.
I was just saying more like a life. And what I'll do at that point of it is like kind of like I'll grab the broken broom handle I had and the rag that I had and just kind of like see if I can like kind of crunch it down a little bit and try to do like a makeshift torch and have him try to like light it.
I can't see this, can I? As opposed to me trying to light something, why not take this broom and see if you can clear off the skylights?
They're very up.
Yeah, those are way up there, and I can't make it. Here, and I'm gonna grab the hand,
Take the broom.
And I'm gonna
I
just
grab him by the waist. Lift.
Is this a string?
String.
Okay, I was about to say it's got to be a string. Granted, it's not that hard since I'm part.
17.
You are no longer touching the ground. He is thinner than you were expecting. That's enough.
Am I able to actually reach the skylights?
How tall are you?
6'10".
How tall are you?
I'm 6 foot even.
Well, we do need to make a small little break. Because we had planned at 7:30 to make a little break. So I'm going to say in the chat, can you please respond with whether you think that he reaches or not? Well, you get to choose as the audience. Can they reach the windows with the broom with a 6 foot,
6'10".
6'10", holding up a 6 foot person, and then with like a 4.5 foot broom?
Maybe 5 foot.
Can they reach? We're gonna take what, a 5-minute break?
Yeah.
All right. So in 5 minutes we will find out if you can reach or not. Yes, you in fact reach. It takes a little bit of effort, but you are able to reach.
I'm probably like one of those maneuvers where you're like kind of like pull it in at the very tip.
Yeah.
Careful with the tip.
You can't see. So, you start stripping off, and slowly, light starts trickling down. With your scrubbing, as you're up there, you're getting one whole window. You know this, that it is fogged glass.
I want you to know, for physics, light doesn't move slowly. Love you.
You don't know how my universe works. Maybe the speed of light is like a turtle farting.
How do you measure that speed? And when have you measured that speed?
Words fall out of my face.
Also, you're within striking distance. Just say.
Oh no, I have to live with her son.
But
She'll get revenge later.
So, there is now. So it's slightly lighter here. You can kind of see, but it is worse than low light.
If you give me directions, I will move you to each of these light sources.
Okay, and then I guess like one's like a little more forward in front of me, or would it be?
Well, straight in front of you is
Oh.
the trough area. So
it would be. I've been looking up.
so you can see some to the left of you and to the right of you. About 5 paces,
Okay.
right and left.
And I'll just 5 paces to the left.
Now, since he was facing me when I lifted him, I'm moving to my left.
Okay.
Oh wait, oh no. This works. But so I just, when you think about it, kind of interesting experience here. 5 more paces. We woke up this morning, and 1 minute we're just having nice, normal lives. Next thing you realize, one of us wakes up as a nearly 7-foot tall dragon. Another one's a half-dead cat. We have a slime ball and a smaller dragon. A couple more to the 5 more paces. Then boop, 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 boop.
It's getting lighter and lighter, and now it's low light. But you can now see the beacons of light above you, frosted glass.
I'm trying not to look up so I don't get the dust in my eyes.
Probably for the best.
But when you think about it, kind of interesting. And then we all get killed, and now we're here. And by the way, at this point, now we're going to go my left and go to the other side.
Okay. I will agree. This is a very interesting afterlife.
Okay, a few more.
It's now, by the time you've gotten cleaned, it is now well lit in here.
There's another pitch dark room over there.
You can't see, like, out of these glasses. Like, it is, you see light coming in, but you cannot see out.
Oh, obviously, keep don't need those kind of perverts looking in. So.
But this room has troughs. And so there's, in the center, there are long troughs on one side, and then like a tented area where you have found the mirrors. The mirrors are like this on either side. There's like a little shelf area. So mirror, shelf, mirror, and then on each side there's the troughs. And that goes on for about 6 feet. At the base, like underneath where the mirrors stick out a little bit, there is that magic writing that creates water.
Mm-hmm.
On the other side of the trough, along the back wall, there's these little cubbies that have doors off to, like, from where you're looking. If you were looking in from the door, from your left, there are individual basins with mirrors. And then to your right, there is a wall that has another inlay, like another door, but it's like instead of like a swingy door, it's just like it's entryway. That's the word, an entryway.
A delayed intelligence check.
Excuse you?
I love you.
Delayed intelligence check?
It just took you longer to roll.
Sometimes my brain just does click, click, click. And sometimes when you're supposed to be talking and you have one of those moments, you just feel like, yeah, that's not always the right idea, but it's my idea. Okay.
We now know what the bathroom looks like. There's another dark room over here. Shall we go brighten it up too?
We'll go through the little wall, and then there's a little entryway. Over to the side, you want to explore more? He doesn't want to explore more.
I've been inspired to explore more.
No,
I mean-
no. I'm just, as the DM, concerned that you didn't want to scope out the entire room. But who cares?
Oh no, I have intention to explore the whole facility.
Mhm.
But there's other dark rooms to light up too, so I'm wondering if it will help to brighten up the whole area.
Okay, so go back through the rooms that you had come through and like clean the windows enough that you can see into them.
Let's at least clean this thing off a little bit. This makeshift. I'm gonna kind of like stick the broom underneath the trough, or
Into
in
the
trough,
traffic.
and try to like.
Do you do the thing again to turn the rooms on?
Yes. Yeah. And like you actually at this point you see me actually like.
So what is that hand gesture you're making? Like, is it you're groping the wall, or
Like at this point, since I'm doing it one-handed, I'm doing it more like this.
One hand does not seem to work. You do this, you do this, not this, it doesn't work. Put the broom down into the water or into the basin and put your hands flat up against it and it starts it.
Mhm.
Palms out, water comes.
so yes, you're groping the wall.
No ropes. It's flat.
But this,
This is grope. This is flat.
and then
Wax on, wax off, and we'll just.
Sorry, half of that is for OnlyFans.
Yes.
okay, so you start water.
We will use the opportunity to clean the supplies to make it easier to clean.
Yes.
I wonder, since I can breathe fire, would that mean my breath would be hot enough to work as a blow dryer?
Or you could crispify things.
I'm not talking about discharging a breath weapon.
I have no idea.
Want to be a test subject.
All I do is like I just lift up the rag that the rag that was on my tail. I just kind of like.
What do you think, viewers? Should he be able to use his breath as a blow dryer?
I mean, I can breathe fire.
I mean, I get the.
I wasn't expecting to do multiple questions, but
Here we are.
I mean, the logic. I get the logic in that. I mean, there are some depictions where they do talk about. I mean, I've read before where the depiction is like the heat, like you can feel the heat of their breath.
so are you saying that you're hot-headed or that you're an airhead?
I was gonna say full of hot air.
Full of hot air, yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's okay. Boots.
With some of the fur only.
Exactly.
Yeah, some. The rest of it is just jangly. I don't know. To me, it sounds like it could, but
So do we have an answer?
We're waiting on a tiebreaker.
Oh, time. Well, hopefully there's more than just two people on the stream.
There it is.
Someone vote.
The serious voice behind the screen. That's you.
Or, we're all tied up. Until you do.
I mean, worst case scenario.
I mean, yeah, I can coin flip, which is what I normally do. But why coin flip when I have these?
Okay, we have a break. We have a tiebreaker.
Okay.
And yes, you can use the breath.
You better putting that down on the sheet.
Breath works like blow dryer. Got it.
Warm, very warm breath.
That is unfortunate, though. I feel sorry for any ice cream that you have. You go, Aww.
It's like that show Reaper, how the devil can't touch ice cream because it melts as he gets close to it.
That is unfortunate. I feel bad for you. You no longer can eat ice cream.
I just have to hold my breath as I lick.
Yeah, that sounds like a terrible idea. One wrong move and you just completely melt your cone. And then your hands are covered in sticky cream.
On the flip side, though, he deals with the you get like the almost near frostbitten ice cream, like that really stiff one where you have to like throw it in the microwave anyway to soften it. Yeah, he could do it like that.
And then it becomes soft serve.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can now blow dry the equipment. Jeez, it's warm.
Yeah, if it gets cold, I can keep people warm just by breathing in the room.
No need to use any of those fireplaces that you found. And you can just breathe.
I am the fireplace.
Well then.
All right, so I will blow dry the equipment.
As I
Try
finish.
to clean my hand. Done washing my hands. Oh.
Tingly.
Would you mind?
Oh.
Weird. I'm so cold.
I can add more heat to it.
No. I'm cold. Like, I'll kind of like reach out I'll reach out the one that has fur.
I wanna hold your hand.
Or at least point out.
I'll hold out a claw.
He is frosty.
And hear people say opposites attract, but I'm not attracted to you.
Feelings mutual here. But kind of odd, right?
I mean, I'm a walking flamethrower, blow dryer, and lizard.
Apparently I'm a half-dead cold cat. Okay.
Or, as shows from the 70s say, you're a cool cat.
So anyway, how about we explore the rest of the before I kind of like gesture. It's like before we go there, let's finish this spot. Just maybe we'll find some more supplies, and maybe we can give it to our allies, or we just find something else we can use to clean. Maybe something that doesn't require me being lifted up in the air.
Would you rather stand on my shoulders?
If it comes to that, but first, let's at least see if there's something else around here.
Okay.
So I'm gonna walk around the other side of.
Showers! Except they just look mostly like more cubbies with a green.
At the spot to go, I am a meat popsicle.
There is again the runes on the sides, but these runes, these magical runes, look slightly different. There seems to be, so there has the one that you've been noticing that you translate in your head, create water, and then below that, on one side there is a new squiggly rune, and on the other side a different squiggly rune.
Well, let's at least see. And I'm gonna go ahead and like reach in and like step into one of the cubbies and just like.
Would be careful, like your cats don't like to be wet.
Well, we've established I'm a half-dead cat, so the other half of me should be fine. And I'll
So just one?
I'll put one hand out, see if I notice anything.
Nope.
Okay. Around the.
For the ceiling. But now you have the two runes that you don't know what they're for.
I mean, like kind of like try to like press or like kind of like move my hand on one and just Well, no, actually, at this point, water's fresh on me. I just jump back and.
The water's still going. Just kind of like whenever you create the water in the sink, that it goes for a bit before it turns off. But now you have those two rooms, and they seem to have glowed. They start glowing a little bit, as if they're activated. So
This will explain the well situation. But it makes me wonder if maybe that's why it doesn't conjure anything. Maybe there's these writings in that area, and we just couldn't see them.
I'm not going to draw you until you turn that off.
So, all right, yeah. So I started kind of like trying to like figure out like
which one do you do first?
I go with the left hand first, my left. So I grab and like try to like adjust.
The water turns warmer,
Okay.
and the longer you hold it there, the hotter it gets.
Oh.
It's getting cold, and the longer you hold it there, the colder it gets. Which is not uncomfortable for you.
Just watching this like half cat just person playing around, like essentially playing a one-side patty cake. Just.
In his clothes, everything drenched, but he still had a cake in the wall.
This is not how cats clean themselves.
I'm aware. We established I'm not one.
If it looks like a cat, smells like a cat, and whines like a cat,
Whenever, you know what?
When he's fully in the room, you can't hear him. But when he's out of the room, you can hear him. So the cubbies are silenced.
oh, okay.
Let me know. I think I've had fun with your cat mouse, but cat lizard.
Dragon, not lizard. I'll do the creepy tongue thing.
You should.
But then I just kind of like step back and kind of you know, at least shake myself off a little bit and just.
So anytime that he like you could have made comments while you were in there, and he would have been making comments at you, and he would have responded, but he still wasn't hearing you, but he was still being catty.
You know, for calling someone a cat, you are awfully way more chattier than I am.
Well, we're not humans anymore.
That's true.
And I figured you'd like cat better than some of the alternatives.
The water slowly turns off.
I mean, I've only ever heard of one other entity that looks like you, and her name is Hell.
Fair. But still getting used to this. Though it's just still weird that.
There's a lot that's weird here. Like, apparently, they do have indoor plumbing, but without indoor plumbing.
There's these stalls, and then it goes have another little inlet.
So this is a shower. Yeah, this is a shower room. You know, shower bathroom. Almost like a. Yeah, well, you know, like certain facilities back in the day, or even like summer camp.
Colleges, covenants.
Well, I mean, this is a temple, so it would make
Communal facilities, yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, well,
That means we scrub extra thorough because we don't know how communal they got.
yes. For right now, let's at least light up the other room, and we'll go from there. Well, anything we don't clean, we'll just leave to our slime friends.
So, the lights from the previous room do kind of come into this room, but you do see on the ceiling of this room that there is another patch of windows, skylights.
Oh.
I was soaking wet and now.
Oh.
At least half, and the other half just goes right through me. You play around at one point, and you can start hearing like musical notes out of it, like on a wind chime.
I promise I'm not changing my name to Dyson.
Yeah, fine enough. Some more skylights, and I grab the broom. Oh boy.
But this time we're now both facing the same direction. I beg you, do not fart.
All you see is just a skeletal tail that just occasionally is just kind of like just almost like it's swishing in rhythm. But you also kind of get it like not intentionally, but you kind of notice that like the tail itself, you can tell like part of it looks like it's like kind of like a mossy, but there's like a weird blue tip on a bone at the end of it. Something humoring you?
No, nothing we need to discuss.
Got it. And I guess we just kind of continue this route until
5 paces here and there. You get it all cleaned. The next room in, you can see, you can't see. Yay! It is. There are deep basins set into the floor. And you can infer that this is a bathing area. So you saw showers, you saw the toilets. And you can see this is bathtubs.
oh,
But like more like a bathhouse in like a hot spring. Big basin bathtubs where the communal bathing.
well, there more than likely, may not intentionally, but there is definitely communal bathing around here.
Good to know.
Not that you can see in there.
Do I look up again? Am I able to see?
Yes. This one's going to be a little bit more tricky because it's, 2 to 3 foot walkway, then both.
On the shoulder.
Okay.
And then drag into the dance.
I was more meaning that you are in the dark and you will, if you do not instruct him properly, it will be a la la la
Mm.
or a la 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 slip. Then you're gonna take bludgeoning damage from the fall.
I'm at 5 health right now. I don't know if I like those odds. First death ever in a show, and it's just death by tripping in the bathroom.
That is also a way to get isekai.
Or, if you don't die, you'll invent the flux capacitor.
There you go. There you go.
Okay.
So now it's like I'm doing double eye stuff like that. It's like, okay, and clean one.
Okay.
Then I kind of look down, look around the room again, just be like, okay. So carefully, we're going to do 5 paces to the left. Don't go too crazy. And just,
Crazy feet. Good.
and just kind of, I'll keep doing that. And now am I close to the walkway, or are we? Guess I imagine we do this like a couple of times, and then I get close to that walkway.
So you're in the you're walking, and then you've got the in between the bats. So you're like in a grid.
Oh,
And then there's like, so you're at 4 foot, then the bats start, and in between, they 5x5 bats. There is like a 3 foot walkway,
okay.
but it's in a grid, like for ease of theater of the mind, and
Got it.
it will be easier for you to walk around. So they are square shaped bathtubs.
Okay.
It would be easier to build.
So based on what I'm seeing here, we're gonna be walking around like a big grid. So
Just let me know if there's a step up or down.
so far it's just to the sides.
So as you clean, you're slowly getting a little bit more light in. So you can kind of see your little section, and then it goes into dark.
Okay.
And you can roll me an intelligence check.
13.
And you can guess you have an understanding of now how the room is set up from what you can see. Where you can see 5 foot, 3 foot, 5 foot, 3 foot.
Okay. We will continue this grid.
Um,
How often does his blue-tipped tail bounce off my horns?
Probably like once or twice, just enough that I was like the first time was like the accidental, and then just second time I was like, oh crap, okay.
like when you're reaching extra far or scrubbing hard, your tail might tap on its horns.
Well, since we're socializing anyway as we're cleaning, I find it ironic that Tom is the slime and you're not Tom, even though you're the cat.
Well, it seems like you had a sense of humor in the past life here. Definitely feel like we would have had a couple more jokes. I mean, you seem a bit more. Can't think of any good jokes outside of just more scaly.
I always did like to keep things even.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Making sure everything's in right order, everything as it should be.
Well, as a cook, I had to keep everything measured.
Ah.
And scales are good for that.
What restaurant were you at?
There are weird missing gaps in my memory.
You don't want to come up with a name? I can only think of one name, and I'm not sure that the turn of phrase is a good turn of phrase. But it sounds like something that you would hear and that an owner would find very funny. But you worked at Pass the Buck.
I'm not going to admit to the restaurant that I worked at.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
So you're like, I don't remember.
Yeah, no worries. I can tell. Old, that may have been a old, possibly traumatizing wound.
Well,
No worries.
let's just say that my hobby was trying to be turned into a career.
Ah, okay.
I was an assistant teacher at a dojo for swordsmanship.
Oh, okay. So it's actually probably a good thing you got the hardened scales now.
Yeah, don't have to wear armor. I am the armor.
That would have been quite a sight to see. Bunch of kids running up to you with their kendo sticks and just.
So does this mean I'm wearing scale mail?
I mean, it's. Just like kind of laugh. It's like, yeah, very accurate. I like it.
Okay. You do get to the bathing hall. Light is now shining down, and you can see all of the tubs. They're recessed. They're like recessed pools, but there's no water, so I can't let it all.
I wonder if Tom consumes things, does Tom get bigger?
And the only way to find out would be to
Toss him in a pool.
pretty much and see what would happen. Because I don't know about you, but it's like, why scrub when we have a scrubber?
Okay. So now that you see this is a bathing room, you guys head back out to start cleaning the windows on some of the other walls.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because at this point, like, I've already kind of like, conspired with him. That's like, we'll grab Tom and just make him do this.
Unless we find something else that makes it easier.
Do you want to clean the dining hall, one of the sitting rooms, or look for bedrooms?
We get first shot at bedrooms because we didn't run off into a library.
Oh, let's look.
So they're like, we can do that, or we can look through the bedrooms first. So there are both north and south facing bedrooms, so left and right. There's bedrooms on both sides. What are you looking for in the room? Are you looking for one that's closer to the courtyard? Or are you looking for ones that are farther away from the courtyard, closer to the bathrooms, farther from the bathrooms?
I'm less worried about bathroom distance for myself, but what one has a good view?
Okay, you are gonna have to clean windows.
I don't know what it means to do that.
So you guys are going through rooms. Are you Leviing it?
Do you realize the stretch of fabric I would need to cover my snout to Levi it?
Just take the whole.
I use a little raised nub at the end of my nose, take the piece of fabric and hang it on that and drape it over my skull.
To keep the dust out. How many racks did you guys grab?
I would have grabbed at least 3 or 4.
Okay, so you punch your clean rag over your face, and like, yes.
This will have to work.
Do you tie anything over your face so you're not breathing in dust?
At this point, I've been already inhaling it from when I was up on the ceiling, so I'm just like, what's a little more, at my regular.
Dust.
Yeah, pretty much. So no, I just go, I just kind of, I kind of lightly chuckle as improvisation and proceed to start cleaning some windows.
Several of the first bedrooms that you go in and you clean, there are 2 beds in them, so they're shared bedrooms. Some of them have bunk beds, like 2 sets of bunk beds. You're like, oh, dorm rooms, shared room. I'm guessing
I also have to make sure the bed is large enough for me.
Okay. So you clean several of the dorm rooms. The farther you go in, the less of packing as many people in one room as possible. It starts evening out to, 6 to 4 to 2, and then you find towards the end of the hall, you are finding bedrooms with 1 bed and like a bigger space. 1 bed, and then you get to ones that have large space, a bed, and like a little desk.
I think we're starting to find the nice personal quarters. And that's when I pull off my point again. Guys, how many people did you have in here?
I had at one point many worshippers, many priests and priestesses who wanted to love me.
Okay.
And now lots of them are afraid to be here.
Why?
5 kingdoms.
Okay. Then I take it we're gonna be trying to maybe do something about these 5 kingdoms.
Hopefully, you will be talking to the other beings of this realm. You're going to gather me followers. I mean, do good here. And mention my name a lot, so they know that do-gooders follow me.
Do-gooders?
Do-gooders. We're doing the good.
Right. Yeah, and he kind of, or well, I don't say it out loud, like, but like basically, I kind of just stare for a second, just kind of, yeah, do good, and just.
What kind of good do you need us to do?
First of all, we're going to clean the temple. Big up. So I would probably suggest after you find your bedrooms that we might be getting a little hungry. You have been working really hard for a while. Don't worry, I have stocked somewhat the kitchens. I think food's still there. There were some non-perishables. I think.
All right. Let's decide on our bedrooms, since we get first pick.
Yeah. Okay, keep looking, and I'm looking for a decent size. Yeah, I'm looking for one decent bed and the one with like that personal desk, and just so yeah, something that would be my, like, give me enough to where I'm not, hanging off the side, any side of the bed.
Okay. So you guys are Goldilocksing?
Pretty much. I mean, considering both of us are literally the tallest of the. He way worse than I.
I'm almost 7 foot tall.
At one point, you see me getting on a bed and almost acting like an actual cat or a pet. You see me actually like walking on top of it, like in a circle. Then I just gotta crack a smile at you.
So the last 5 bedrooms that you find, 2 on one side, 2 on the other, 1 straight ahead, are the biggest bedrooms. The one at the very end of the hall will need some work to get in because it is locked.
Are the hinges on this side of the door or the other side?
If hinges are on this side, it opens out. It opens in.
What kind of locking mechanism does it appear?
Doorknob. And then a keyhole.
I try to look into the keyhole, which means my head is practically turned to the side as I'm peering.
There is an obstruction. You cannot see all the way through.
Will my claw fit in?
No.
Want to take a shot at being a cat burglar?
I mean, sure. I'll attempt to kind of like see if I can like kind of extend one of my nails a bit and try.
Okay. Roll. Burglary is sleight of hand, isn't it?
Hmm.
So roll me sleight of hand.
Okay. It's not a little too hard here.
Oh, there we go.
You were just excited.
Oh, it was a 17.
Okay. You actually, are you using your bony hand or your furry hand?
I'm using the bony hands.
Perfect.
Skeleton key.
In this case, literally.
it doesn't work. You get your little bony finger in there, and you can feel you've played enough Skyrim and video games that had little locky thingies that you know where to tap. You'll kind of bend. You can barely bend, but you can tap up a little bit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so you tap up the things, you bring it out, and you turn open the door, and it swings in.
Keys to your bedroom, sir.
Of course, the cat burglar would have a skeleton key.
Well, in this case, at least 5.
So go inside, and this appears to be the Grand Master's bedroom, or the head priest or head priestess's bedroom. It has a large bed off to one side. You can see in here. You can't really. That's the windows. There's like a little seating, so like a little like coffee table with couch around it. There's a desk on one side, some bookshelves. It has like a nice bay window that stretches out a little bit farther than the room with like a little spot to sit on and read. Carpeted floors, hardwood and carpeted, but there's like a big area around where the couch is, and then there is a fireplace close to the bed.
This is definitely the fancy room, but from what I can tell, I think it would, am I able to kind of like, kind of do?
I cannot see. You cannot see because not only are the windows dusty, but there are heavy curtains over the windows. The curtains look gray, but you're pretty sure it's just dust that is clinging to the fabric.
Well, that when you're using dark vision, everything is black, white, and shades of gray.
Okay.
This is definitely the fancy room here.
So you can move the curtains if you'd like.
I may have mentioned to him, it's like, this might be your room, just based off the bed. And I may just grab one of the curtains and just
There
start
is
trying to...
some dust on the windows, but most of it will be swished away with the thick curtains. So light filters in the room more than some of the other rooms that you've been in. And there is a large, like king size 4-post bed.
So is this about the only bed that looks like it would fit me?
No,
Okay.
you probably could take one of the 4 other rooms at the end of the hall. But this one is definitely the schwanky room.
I don't know that I need it this schwanky.
So next to the side that has the desk with the bookshelves around it, there is also with the light coming in, you can see that there is a door to the outside world there.
Although the door is nice.
I mean...
I go open the door.
It is like a balconied area, even though it's not far off the ground, but it's still like a little inlet outside. And there are several pots in that spot, but any plant that was in there is dead and crusted over.
So I'm not really the plant rearing type. And I don't know that I would need a whole lot in the way of the desk. I think this would be better for, well, either one of the bookish sorts or someone who likes raising plants.
I mean, at least vines kind of come out of me, so. And I mean, and after all, you and I get first pick, so.
Maybe check out the other 4 bedrooms.
Yeah, at least check those.
These ones are pretty identical to each other. They are bigger than any of the rooms that you looked in besides the grand bedroom. They don't have the bay windows like the grand bedroom has, but they do have a desk. They do have a bookshelf. They have, instead of a couple couches, it has like a lounging chair in there with a instead of a dining room, a coffee table, there is like a 2 to 3 foot circular table and then like 2 chairs. So you can host in your bedroom, but really you don't have to. There is a fireplace in each of the bedrooms, and there is a 4-post queen size bed. Each one of the rooms also has curtains over the windows, so when you pull the curtains aside, everybody can see into the room, or you can see into. However, they don't have the little sit in front of the window area, but there are latches on these windows, and like most of the windows of the places that you've been. And do you open the windows?
Yeah.
The windows are floor to about 2 feet from the ceiling. So you open it up, and it's a little, like your own little encased patio.
Okay.
With a couple, like there's, some of them have like iron chairs and a little seated area with like, what at one point was an umbrella, a shading umbrella. Another one has pots for plants. One has what looks like an unsanctioned grill.
Yes.
The other one is just empty, filthy. Like this room is filthier than any of the other rooms.
I'll take the one with the grill.
Noted.
What's the door made of?
There are glass and iron doors.
No, I mean to the entrance to the room.
Wood. You just write your name.
Carve my name with my claw.
Okay. That room is this room.
I don't know which room I want though.
Do you want to look to the courtyard
There's no.
or to the outside?
You are not. The court. There are gardens on every side of the building. Like it's at one point. You can tell that the outside was well maintained, and that the grounds were well kept. But now it's overgrowth, and mostly roses and other viney plants have kind of eaten the area.
I mean, do we want really? I think the other question is potentially, do we want Tom to take the big room? Because I feel like Tom's going to take the big room, and I don't want him to take the big room.
I don't know, chat. Are there overstuffed chairs?
Because at this point, my character is like, he's kind of doing like on the way. It's like, okay, the other rooms look nice, but do I really want that one guy?
If you both want to, you can roll an intelligence check on this.
Okay.
Every room has a fireplace, chat.
Except for the peasant ones.
Well, yeah, except for the peasant ones. I mean, the dorms, where the lowly priests live, they don't get a fireplace. They just get they wear the special heated coal pans that you used to put under the covers in Victorian times.
Oh, yeah, those things.
Heated beds, or magic, which is prevalent in this realm. So, what were your intelligence checks?
Intelligence, I got a 12.
Same.
Or you could lock the door and he wouldn't know any better because he isn't here. And you could tell him, maybe, well, are you too scrupulous, unscrupulous? Nice people? Bad people? Liars?
Indifferent.
Indifferent?
I've chosen my bedroom.
You do not want Tom to get this spot. You could always tell him that it's got something that he wouldn't want to see in it. Like maybe there's a large statue of the goddess that looms over the bed. Because you have a feeling that if you said it was haunted, he would have cried poppycock
And investigated it.
and went into the bedroom.
But if I bring up anything about the goddess, then he's probably not going to want to check it out because he's already...
Why should we care?
Good enough.
Because Tom's dead, Tom. Oh, Tom farted dust on him.
Here's the thing. Whoever takes the grand room is likely going to be having to deal with attempting to being seen as the chief representation of the goddess on this particular plane of existence.
You don't think that'd go to Tom's head?
Tom does not like me very much. I don't think Tom will choose the Grandmaster's room. I can always lock the door, Sneaky.
We didn't sneak.
I'd say we'll just relock the door, and I'll take the room with the dead plants. I don't know. Kind of a kinship with them all of a sudden.
Okay. Do you also claw your name into...
Your door.
Yes, I'll claw my name into it.
I want to let you know, JT, that cool cat is what I used for you in the notes now.
Cool cat.
In the cool cat bedroom, you do find very plush chairs.
This I could, yeah.
I don't know if I feel comfortable in plush chairs with the hardened scales.
Right.
I did not hear if plush chairs were excited about in the chat.
I mean, at this point, though, they're going to be super dusty and all this other stuff.
Yeah, flop dust.
Pretty much. It's like those one type of mushrooms where you barely touch them and they just all over the place.
There is actually one room like this that is so dusty that you guys didn't even really walk into.
That'll probably be Tom's room.
Do you choose their rooms for them?
Nope.
No?
Nah. We figured,
Figure they can duke it out?
we picked ours, they can pick theirs. That's the way
We just got here first.
pretty much. They got sidetracked with books, scrolls, and other things, and we figured might as well explore everything else.
Dining hall.
Yes.
We're off to the num-nums.
I'm going to describe your rooms a little bit more. You do each have a basin in your room.
Nice. Okay.
For,
Washing a face and hands.
Morning maintenance.
there's a couple cupboards. There's a wardrobe, dresser, amenities.
Anything in the wardrobes?
At this point, anything that's probably not moth-eaten or
No,
disintegrated.
you don't find anything in the bedrooms, in the wardrobes.
Gotcha.
I have a question for Anastasia. Is there an armory in your temple?
Why would I need an armory? This is a place of work.
No armory. Probably explains why the temple, probably fell a couple times. No way to defend themselves. Or let me guess, they just probably relied on their magic and
Divine guidance is what they relied on. I just had been on vacation a little bit.
Could you divinely guide us to some self-defense tools? Big dragon eater.
The self-defense tools aren't in this wing. The West Wing is for living.
oh, so there
The
was
East Wing is for reading and learning. So East Wing is reading and learning, discovering more about the world and about yourself along the way. And the West Wing is for living. It's where you eat, it's where you sleep, it's where you bathe.
So it's either north or south. What would you think?
Logically, I think food first.
Yeah, let's eat and then we'll figure that out.
Okay.
So we'll go try and see these reserves that she's left for us.
In opening all those doors on the long way, you did not find a kitchen, but you did find a dining room.
We'll go to the dining room.
There's more those windows on the top that you'll need to clean.
Once more.
Assume the position.
You guys are really working out. I'm gonna need you to roll athletics.
10.
You made it. I need you to roll athletics.
Okay.
Your arms have been getting tired holding a stick at arm's length and doing this. Do you know how much work that would be? How much time that would take and how much your arms would hurt?
15.
Oh, fine. You're all good. Both of you are athletic people. Whatever.
To be fair, half of me is skeletal, so it doesn't take that much stamina to keep bones up.
But moving things requires muscle.
Magic.
Magic muscles.
Yes, how we explain all the plot holes in a fantasy world.
Magic. Or the hand waving. It's magic. Yeah. In my case, we don't know how. For goodness sakes, I have a bony tail. Like a literal tail that's made of bone. So it's like, who knows how that thing's still on me at this point. So yes, we
dust our way through.
we do our regular
Table's not covered in dust.
Good.
do our regular shimmy.
Okay. You clean out the windows. Now you can see in the dining room.
Yay! Blow dryer. Well, no. What I was thinking is like, since it'd be a bigger one, like, would you do more? Because what I'm wondering is like, would you just do like that passages, or are you gonna try to do like kind of like a bigger one?
I don't really have Superman's super breath. So I don't think I can get the range. It's a spicy meatball.
When you can now see, you had already seen kind of seen it, but you were more paying attention that you needed to
Yeah.
clean up. There are 2 doors on the far wall of the dining hall.
Well, it's got to be either one or both's the kitchen. I'd say we pick a door, divide and conquer, and
Why not?
let's do it. I'll go to the door on the left, and I'm guessing as I now I'm gonna try to see like from what I can base see it. Does it look like it's wooden or
Wooden.
okay? Can I tell if it looks like it's been locked at all or
It is not locked.
okay? In that case, I will grab the knob.
Yes.
Okay, and turn it. And,
It goes in.
okay.
You doing the same?
I'm calling.
Oh, you're going. I thought you were going 1, 2, 3 into different doors.
Oh, well, then, yeah.
Yeah, the divide. Yeah, because my thought was divide and conquer. That way, if once the
So I'll walk over,
Okay.
grab, twist, push.
Push in. Walk in. It's dark in here. You see a kitchen, and you see movement to your right, and can see him moving into the room.
It's the kitchen.
That's very good. You can't see.
Good to know.
Now let's see, and I'm gonna look around and see is it the usual skylights. This guy, Anastasia is very much obsessed with skylights. So
I just position my hands where he would walk into them. I'll just grip with them.
it's like so he's just basically just groping the door, just waiting for me to.
He's doing the uppies, but to the side.
I think you know the routine.
I do the same song and dance.
Cleaning.
I didn't clean this much in the other world, but
I wish there were a spell for this.
yeah, who knows? Maybe there is, and
We just have to learn it.
yeah. I mean, heck, for goodness sakes, I just learned how to sprout vines out of my hands.
Hey, you clean it. It's a kitchen. Yay!
Okay, I look around for the food.
There is another door.
Is this Killer Clowns from Outer Space? Another door. Another door. It's just literally a scene where
You
literally
open the
he's
door. It's pantry.
Can I see in the pantry?
When you open the door, really, it opens out. And light floods in.
this poor dragon can't.
Alright, what's in the pantry?
Potatoes.
I guess I'll boil them, mash them. But there's no stew.
No. Is it just potatoes?
It is 10 minutes before 9.
Okay.
So, yes, potatoes. And carrots that have started growing other carrots. And jars full of goop. There's orangey goop, reddish goop, purpley goop
Is there one of those basins?
in the kitchen, yes.
Okay. I've watched how he operates them. So I'm going to operate the basin to try and prep myself an area to cook.
Okay.
So I'll prep a prep area. Then I will.
You can open up the jar of goop.
I'll sniff them.
They pop. You open it up, expecting gross. Oh, preserves.
Ah, preserves.
So you find canned goods.
Any canned meats?
No.
It's probably for the best.
Canned meat.
Any dried meats?
Do you think we have a time for one more question? And you can answer in the comments below on whether there are any dried meats within the pantry or the kitchen. I really like this. I don't have to think as hard. And if it needs to be, we can always have that question result be in the next stream, so next week. Next week, do we have the meats? No giggles?
Dun, 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 dun. Well,
Are you changing the goddess's name to Arby?
No.
Ooh,
What?
yes.
Yes. They do have the meats?
Bat and rat.
So it was dried bat and dried rat.
Really? That's what kinds of meats?
I mean,
Oh,
last question of the night. You're gonna, we're there. You know, let the audience go nuts with it.
I'll work with it.
you find 2 dried types of meat. You are not familiar
Is there a pot?
with these colorations of meat per se, but you do find what looks to be meat.
Is there a pot?
It's a kitchen. Yes, there are pots.
Okay.
There are pans. They're, for the most part, backside.
While he's doing this, I'm gonna kind of try to clean up a little bit of the dining area
Okay.
because I can see that he's
In the
minimum. I'm gonna try to clean up
Roll
his
a
spot.
17.
Okay.
And I'm basically making a stew. Big pot.
Okay. Put the dried meats in. Put your potatoes.
Find some seasonings if there's any.
Okay. Roll investigation.
22.
You can't find. It's. You were expecting to find little pots of spice or little bags of spice. Something in here. All you find is one pouch. So there's in the center, there's a baking area, a counter where you could do the chopping and the thing. And there's just a small pouch on that table.
I open the pouch and look in it.
You find salt.
All right. Sprinkle some salt in the pot.
Okay.
Now, if only I had some pepper too.
Have you closed the bag yet?
No.
You have salt.
Close that.
You start looking around for another pouch.
Mhm.
You do not find any other pouches. You only have this one bag. It's not even that big of a bag. It's not like a bag. It's like a bag.
Put it back again.
And now it's pepper.
I like this bag.
So that's a few suggestions.
Oh,
They're suggesting a few things.
Okay.
Do we want them?
what are the suggestions?
Chili, dried garlic hanging from the ceiling, and bouillon cubes. With beans and corn.
No bouillon. Because I've just figured out seasoning. But yes, there are cloves of chilies and garlics hanging from the ceiling and in the pantry.
I mean,
Well, then I have made up a fine meal, and we can start next session with everybody eating.
at least the pepper's better than what I've heard. I've heard a story once where someone actually made it chili in a prison, and for the pepper, they literally just sprayed pepper spray into the.
No.
It's just concentrate.
No,
Save it. You take it.
please. We still have 4 minutes.
Okay. So it's a magic spice bag.
Pouch of infinite spice. Magic. What did you just say? No. Pouch of infinite spice. I came up with a special magic item. Are you just gonna keep that? Are you not gonna share that with anybody? You just
I'm the cook, damn it. I will carry the spices.
All I can think of is just cut to, at one point he's just gonna mess with it. Sugar.
Spice. And everything not.
You try to throw girls here. Do not create humans.
They weren't humans. Those things were homunculi. Let's be honest. You saw their nubs. That ain't human. Those are homunculi. 3 very overpowered homunculi, I will point out as well.
But I will be adding to the pouch of infinite spice now, bouillon as one of the options.
Booyah.
Thank you to whoever put bouillon.
At this point, I've been just kind of clearing off an actual dining, one of the dining tables, one closer to the doors. That way, you don't have to go so far.
And this way, when we all gather next time,
You can have mystery meat stew.
I'm sorry. Hey, the improv.
does that mean with the particular trait of one of the characters, they will be a hybrid of a bat and a rat afterwards?
Kitchen has bat and rat meat. Jellies.
And -1, and -1 pouch.
Well, it's not -1 pouch. The pouch goes with me. But if we go somewhere, now I have seasonings in my cook.
Well, the pouch is with you, but I mean, as in the kitchen itself is -1 pouch now, because you have procured it for your travels.
Making sure I make a note that it's dried rat and bat meat. I think that someone took the time to prep it.
And thank you for the creative thought process of who gave us that gem.
Yep. It's now a delicacy in these parts.
Yeah, we'll make do with this world.
It is our wrap-up.
This world's going to be a very interesting one, to say the very least.
Thank you all for joining us. We really appreciate it. I hope you had fun and that we made you giggle.
And see you on next week's adventure.
Good night and good luck.